A young little girl ran towards her stepmom, calling her mom, and she pushed her back and started yelling at her. "Don't you ever call me mother again. I am not your mom. I am not here to look after another person's child. I am here to marry your father." In her words, she said, "I can see you have nothing to do. I'm going to give you a job." The woman left and brought a towel. She commanded the little girl to start cleaning the table. The little girl started cleaning. Her stepmom kept yelling at her, "At your age, you are supposed to know how to cook, clean and wash dishes. You are 4 years old, so you should know how to do jobs." Her stepmom kept on yelling at her and later left. The girl looked at her and was confused, and she continued doing her job. The woman returned with a bucket and a mop. She commanded the girl to get up. She took the towel from her and handed her over mop and asked her to start mopping the floor. The little girl did as her stepmom commanded her to do. She started mopping the floor. As she was mopping the floor, the woman kept on yelling, "At your age, you are supposed to know how to do all these jobs. You are no more a kid. Keep on doing it. I am not here to look after anybody's child. I am not your nanny, and I am not your mother." The little girl continued mopping the floor without saying a word. As she was mopping, she innocently looked at the woman, and the woman kept on yelling at her, "I am not your mother. I am going to give birth to my own children. I will get pregnant and give birth to my own child. You are not my child, and you will never be." Her stepmom told her that if she didn't do the jobs very well, that she will show her the other side of her, and she left. The girl continued with mopping without saying a word. After a while, the little girl got tired. She put the mop inside the bucket and she walked towards the door. She sat down there and started crying. She couldn't believe how her stepmom is treating her. Her stepmom came out. On seeing the girl crying, she asked the girl why she was crying. The girl didn't say a word. She commanded the girl to carry the bucket inside. The girl got up, walked towards the bucket. She carried the bucket and took it inside. Few hours later, her stepmom called her. She came. She commanded her to pick up the trash bag and start packing trash. The little girl picked up the trash bag and started packing the whole trash. Her stepmom stood and was commanding her to do the job very well. The girl was packing the trash one by one. After she was done packing the whole trash, the woman commanded her to take the trash outside. The little girl carried the trash bag and took it outside. The woman continued yelling, "I am here to marry your father and not to look after you. Therefore, you will do all the whole jobs in this house. As long as you are in this house, there will be no peace, because I am here to marry your father alone and not to look after you." After the little girl was done throwing the trash, she came back to her stepmother. Her stepmom commanded her to carry the pizza and sit on the floor. The little girl carried the pizza and sat on the floor to eat. The woman continued yelling, "You don't deserve to sit on the dining. You deserve to eat on the floor, because that is where you belong." The little girl gently ate her pizza without saying a word. The woman walked away. As the little girl was eating her pizza, she was calling her daddy, "Daddy, daddy," but her daddy was at work. Few hours later, the little girl was sitting on the floor eating pizza, while her stepmom was sitting on the couch pressing phone. Her daddy came back from work. The little girl ran towards her daddy. She hugged her daddy, but she wasn't looking happy. Her daddy noticed that the little girl wasn't looking happy, so he asked her stepmother why the little girl was sad. Her stepmom pretended like nothing happened. She told her husband that all is well, that they have been playing and watching television. But her father couldn't believe it. He kept on asking, because he has never seen his daughter in such a mood. The man looked down and saw a pizza on the floor. So he asked his wife what the pizza was doing on the floor. She told him that she was about to trash the pizza before he came back. The man, not believing what his wife was saying, so he asked his daughter to go to the room. So he reminded his wife how he begged her to take his daughter as her own, that the girl's mother died when the girl was 4 months old, that he has been the one taking care of the girl. The woman started yelling that the little girl belongs to his late wife and not her, and the little girl will never be her daughter, that she is going to get pregnant and give birth to her own children. The man, on hearing this, became more angry. He told his wife that you are praying for God to bless you with the fruit of the womb, but you can't take care of one that God has blessed you with. The man told his wife that if she's not ready to take his daughter as her daughter, then the marriage will not work. The man left and joined his daughter in the room. His wife kept on yelling that she is not ready to take care of anybody, that she is not anybody's nanny, that she is only here to marry him and not to take care of his daughter. Few days later, the woman was listening to music. Her stepdaughter came to her to play with her. She called her mommy and hit her with her doll. The woman got up from the couch angry and commanded the little girl to kneel down. The little girl knelt down and the woman started beating her. As she was beating her, her breath started seizing. The woman couldn't hold herself and she fell on the floor. Her stepdaughter, seeing her helplessly fell on the floor, the little girl quickly ran and picked up a chair to be able to climb the kitchen cabinet where the woman keeps her inhaler. As the girl opened the cabinet, she took the inhaler and ran towards her stepmother. When she got where her stepmom was lying helplessly on the floor, she quickly opened the inhaler and helped her with it. Her stepmom regained her consciousness and got up from the floor. Her stepmom couldn't believe what the little girl did. She drew her closer, hugged her and thanked her for saving her life. She asked her how she was able to know where she keeps her inhaler. The little girl told her that she has always seen her keep the inhaler in the kitchen cabinet. The woman couldn't believe it. She kept hugging the girl and started apologizing to her for all the wrong deed she has done. She promised the girl that as from today, she will treat her right, that she is now her daughter and she her mother, that she can call her mother from today. As they both were sat on the floor, her husband came back. He couldn't believe what he saw. Seeing his wife for the first time, hugging his daughter like that, he couldn't believe it. He watched his wife held his daughter so tight, singing and praying for the daughter. The woman, on opening her eyes, saw her husband standing looking at them. She quickly got up and hugged her husband. She knelt down and apologized to her husband for all the bad deeds she has done. She told her husband what happened, that his daughter saved her life. She quickly apologized once again and told him that as from today, that she is ready to take his daughter as her own daughter, that she will treat her right. The man, on hearing this, was so happy. He thanked God for the changes he has brought in their home and that his wife has become a changed person, and they both hugged.